twisting, turning. That's a penalty, is it? No, he's still going. Oh, how about that? How about that?
Two friends, two minds, and one love for Arsenal Football Club. You are now listening to the Caught in Two Minds podcast.
Meanwhile, Shelly weaves his way through.
Hey-o. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast, Caught in Two Minds. I'm E. Marshall, and that's Gunnar Rush over there. Fitz.
Hey. No, we're good. Oh,
Okay.
I made up two minds. No.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, so first home game of the season, hosting Chelsea, a London derby. Arsenal lose 2-0. Same old. Very boring game. Not real fun to watch. What were some what were some of your thoughts? I don't even.
For the most part, our fears, all the fears that we had came true. Other than maybe they, I think our fears were probably that they might have actually scored more than they did.
Oh yeah, they were toying with us in the second half for sure.
But I mean, for the most part, we had a tough time taking the ball from them.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just it's such boring, same old ball.
Yeah.
The question has to be at this point, is he even capable of installing different tactics or adjusting the game of play when necessary? I don't even know if he's capable. We play the same way, period.
Tuchel is everything Arteta wants to be. You know what I mean? A young, gifted tactician who can get the best out of his players.
Yeah.
Gets the, he's great at the press conference. Arteta he's just not there in so many ways. He's never had a head coach, and anyway, this isn't about it. Is about Arteta, but it's not about Arteta. Before we get into the lineup, actually, here's something about Arteta. Cedric.
Thank you.
Cedric is completely in the doghouse the entire second half of last year after, a pretty good run of games. But the bottom line is we needed a right back. We haven't had one for a while. Chambers has been playing there. So all of a sudden, you just throw him out there today in a huge game against Chelsea. And he played, he did. It wasn't him getting beat. You know what I mean? He played pretty good. Like, he kept it tight over there. And so it's just those little weird things. Like, you clearly don't like Cedric. There was no reason why he wasn't playing last year, just that you just weren't picking him. And today is the day.
He did today what he always did for us, is he pretty much handled his position and
compared
took a few
to the other
shots
side
on some crosses. And
compared to the other side.
But like you said, he hasn't touched the pitch for Arsenal in maybe 20 games now.
And it was so abrupt.
Maybe 15 to 20 games. He hasn't even touched the pitch. And I saw the lineup and went, Cedric.
Wow. And people were going to say, it was just so weird how he stopped playing him last year, especially when we needed him, And then to just all of a sudden just throw him out there today. Well, I guess Maitland-Niles might be leaving. Bellerin's leaving. You could have played Chambers again, but I guess that was a mistake, based on last week. But still, it's weird shit like that.
Well, here's the weird thing about not playing Chambers. So there's two things to me about that. One, yes, Arteta does listen to the media and the fans and all the chatter. Everybody was really upset about Chambers getting beat last week. And two, there's almost a concession that, well, let me go ahead and play the more professional right back, the guy that's played right back his entire career at right back against Chelsea because, well, he's more professional and will probably be less prone to making mistakes.
Right.
If that's who you have, how come he hasn't touched the pitch in 20 games?
That's my point.
Why hasn't he touched the pitch in 20 games?
Or whatever it is, because somebody's going to be like, it hasn't been 20 games. It's been 16.
I guarantee
what
you
are you
it's been
talking
16. About? Shit.
But no, yeah, it's to me, these are the little weird things, you know, when you're trying to read somebody, trying to understand like his philosophy and what he's trying to build and do. Doing little shit like this. Was it the wrong decision? No, it wasn't. But why haven't you given him an opportunity this whole time? Yeah. You know, why didn't you let him go out there week 1 against Brentford? You know, we need a right back.
What, you know, looking at the situation, exactly. Looking at the situation, are you maybe thinking 2 games ahead, like you said, and thinking I'm probably going to have to start Cedric? So then Brentford, start him for Brentford, then 2. Let him get at least 1 game run out before he goes and plays Chelsea.
Look, dude, we don't have a right back. Yeah, we're going to sell the other ones. Yeah. You know. I mean, in your opinion, I guess we're stuck. I'm not yours, but Arteta's. I guess we're stuck with Cedric. So. Well, play him because that is his position. He does play right back. Right. He's a better right back than Chambers is. I'm sorry.
I mean,
especially for how we want to play. You know, fullbacks bombing up, putting in crosses in the box to nobody. Yeah. That's how he wants to play. You know, so yeah, it's just little shit like that further adds to the frustration with me because it's just like, who knows now? We might not see Cedric for another 15 games, just out the blue, even though he wasn't fucking up today. You know, it's just
well, I mean,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, who knows? You might not see him play for a while just because Chamber. Nope. I don't know. I don't know.
And we may have lost our left back. So.
Right. Don't even get me started on the usual suspects getting little knocks. All right.
I mean, if anybody's noticing, man, we're getting the same names.
Martinelli got a little knock today. Tyranny. This new rule, you know, where the refs are allowing a lot of physicality this year, it's not going to bode well for Arsenal.
No,
you know, we've always been lighting the ass, and you know that's part of our main problem this year. Is not being able to handle that physicality that other teams are applying because Lukaku had Mari just posted up, like back to the basket, about to dunk on you.
This Chelsea squad looks like old school Chelsea, like the old Drogba, Michael Ballack, days. You know,
big bully ball. You know, just. You know, at the same time, they got, you know, the only difference is now they got a lot more little creative players that can, you know, that can come in and do some damage. Jorginho, you know, you don't really notice what he's doing, but he's controlling the tempo of the game, you know. So Pulisic, Mount, Havertz, they're young too. People keep talking about how young we are, but they're
Hakimi,
you know, they're young too. You know, so, but,
go
ahead.
So, on the first goal, just bang, bang. And, you know, we're supposed to stop that, you know.
I mean, come on. I was caught ball watching when they passed it to Lukaku and he passed it to whoever passed it out wide. I was, you know, I was like, oh shit, that fool's wide open over there.
Yeah. And I mean, having that anchor in the middle of the pitch like that, though, they have something to play off of, and when you have a bunch of just like little jackrabbits all around you
who can pick a pass and spot somebody. Yeah.
And all Lukaku does is put his arm up, and you're not getting it from him.
Right. Now, Tyranny was getting a lot of hate today online or on my Twitter feed. You know, he was out of position. We were playing narrow. Even Saka wasn't coming back. I thought when Tyranny's up the pitch, well, actually, he wasn't even up the pitch in us. I was gonna say when Tyranny's up the pitch, Jacques is supposed to be over there covering for him, but we were so narrow. That has to be instructions from the coach, you would think, right?
Well, I mean, the thing is because I know when they showed the replay, yes, Tyranny definitely came way inside on on James or whatever his name is, and
right, Reese or something, yeah,
Reese James. But all game long, it was more of what you were saying, where they do that switch thing, and it's obviously awkward, and that when we want some offense, that we bomb Tyranny way up the pitch, which means Xhaka comes back to cover him back, and there's some type of a hole or something that teams can exploit between when we have to like switch back,
right?
You know, and so a lot of times I think Tyranny's runs when he's running back is not down the sideline, but to the middle of the pitch,
trying to cut off that,
just because he knows like he's a little bit behind and he'll have to be inside to even just get an angle on the defender.
Right.
So like that pass out there on the wing is always open. It's just always open.
On that one side.
Yep.
You know, that's why, you know, I'm looking at Cedric like, wow, you know, he did pretty good today. You know?
So that's a long answer to yes, it's tactics. Like it's just like it's
just because it's
the way
it's being
asking them to play.
Right. Because it's being repeated throughout the entire game. You know, they get the ball, they look for that pass, and they look for that cross to Lukaku. And that's, you know, that's how they scored their 2 goals. They could have had plenty more. You know, it's
I think
he's up on his feet all game. He's up on his feet all game, shouting instructions the whole first half. And the announcers, everybody in the stadium, the fans watching TV can see that that's the issue. So what instructions are you shouting to the team? Are you telling them to prevent that? Are you telling Saka and them to get out there to help them out? You know, keep it tight. Yeah, who knows?
Well, I mean, the thing is the way they play. What could you be yelling?
Right.
I mean, it's so slow and so deliberate, and like
Robots.
What is the instructions that have to be yelled out constantly when we're really not doing nothing?
The game just started, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I sent out that little video. Let the game build up and flow. Let some creativity happen before you get up and start instructing these guys, because they're playing like robots.
Yeah.
They're playing like, you know, like they gotta fit in this system so perfect that if they get out of line, or even if they just use their brains, like Tyranny might be instructed to play narrow, but even, you know, if his coach isn't up his ass all game barking shit, maybe he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go out wide. You know, I'm gonna stick with James. I'm gonna prevent this cross. I'm gonna do something besides, you know, listen to this fool. Really? Who knows?
When he's bombing back, I mean, the other choice would be to play the pass out to the wide guy. And, you know, there is a threat that maybe the guy cuts inside of you and you get beat that way. But, I mean, it does take some skill to make sure that pass gets through to the guy that's trying to get behind you. Yeah. But in the meantime, maybe you're cutting that guy off from being active at all because you're not allowing the pass to get there. But all of our defensive perspective is to stay in front of the defender, you know,
half-ass press,
challenge passes that come in, but to stay in front of the defender, let them have the ball.
Right. Half-ass press, half-ass close down.
Half-ass.
Like, it's not like full throttle. This is what we're doing. Like everybody is kind of too many players out there are thinking
Mhm.
about what to do instead of just doing. But I mean, I can you blame him? This fool was on his feet shouting shit all
Like
day.
you're saying, yes. If he's just yelling all the time, like, I
Right.
mean, what, dude? Like,
Right.
am I spending half my time with my head turned sideways because I'm trying to hear what you're talking
Right.
about?
It's
Or am I
nobody
trying to get into the flow of this game, you know?
exactly. So who knows? The it's kind of I don't know, poetic justice that we played Chelsea today. And I truly believe that Arteta wants to be Tuchel. You know, that's what type of manager he sees himself, a young, smartest guy in the room, got all the tactics, you know, knows what to do. But clearly he doesn't. He's nowhere near this guy's level. And the way Chelsea just easily played it out from the back, beat the half-ass press, and started their attack was just compared to ours, and you know how much of a struggle it is for us. I mean, it just says it all because that's his main thing. He wants us to play it out from the back and start our attack that way. And the way Chelsea beat us, the way Chelsea did it was just like, wow. I was watching them like, wow, we should just stop. We should just pack it in and park the bus and just, bunker down because they're just making us look really bad with this half-ass press. Go ahead.
I don't always agree with these, the announcers and all that and stuff, but like it in real general terms, they were mentioning like, I don't know if it's a substitution or a change in the formation, but they got to do something.
Right.
To change up the tactics. They have to do something. And if there's one thing that's frustrating is a manager that doesn't that just won't try something different.
That was the frustration with Wenger towards the end. Remember?
It really was.
Bringing the sub at like 80 minutes. And it's like, dude.
At 80 minutes and the same starting lineup over and over and over again. Just always the same dudes Wenger would just keep throwing out, and it's like, dude, they're not doing it. Like,
and tactically would never make a change.
Yeah.
Never met, but I mean, I enjoyed watching a lot of his games. You know what I mean? At least I had fun watching Arsenal back then. Now it's just like, it's bad, boring football, and So
So I mean, when we say lacking creativity, I mean, I'm starting to load a lot of it on lack of creative tactics,
right?
Too,
right?
Right. As I watch Martinelli run around. I mean, there's opportunity.
There was a couple times
him balls, but the way that, like, where the ball is when he has to make a run to try to get by somebody, it just makes it such a difficult pass now because it's coming from so deep.
Nobody wants to try to slip that ball through. I've seen him try to make those little runs. He's gonna hustle. He's gonna work hard. So it's not that. It's just having a creative midfielder that's going to see him spot those runs and try, not be afraid to make them, not be afraid to make that pass,
Yes.
I mean, and this, like we said, it seems like there's a lot of players who are just thinking and they're not playing. They're missing obvious shit because I don't know, they don't want to mess up, they don't want to disappoint the manager, or the whole philosophy is to get it out wide to Tyranny and let him cross the ball. If that's the case, then we don't have anybody that's going to jump on the end of those crosses and really do damage like a Lukaku. Now, if we had Giroud still, sure, it'd be tremendous.
I'm really happy you brought his name up because
the whole time he's there, he's not.
When we had Giroud, we played like Chelsea's playing now. We looked for Giroud to get the ball, get it to him, and have him pass it off. And then maybe it comes back to him, or maybe it goes to somebody else.
Right.
And I don't care what anybody says, Giroud did it well. He did his thing well,
Laka does it too, or up in like at the midway, at the halfway line. Like Laka can post you up back there and get it. and start to break. But that's not really Martinelli's game. He needs a good number 10 who is gonna see his run and try to slip it to him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And because he's got the pace, he's got the energy, and we know he can finish.
Yeah.
We've seen him. So
yeah. Watching Reece James tear up our right side just kept making me think about Pepe on our right, and just there's just never an attempt to take advantage of a defender in bad position, or try to just press somebody and make the guy make a mistake or so. There's just no pressure.
Right. He went on a nice he had a nice run early in the midway through the first half, and I was like, wow, look at that guy. And that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Nothing for the rest of the game. So here we go. Was it a penalty on Saka in the box?
On Saka? I think it's a penalty because I'm an Arsenal fan, number one. And number two, but James didn't play the ball. He played Saka. He ran over and he just bumped bodies on purpose instead of actually making an attempt at the ball.
He fouled him twice to me. He he clipped his heel and then he clipped him again. And he just clattered into him. I've seen less given, Could Saka have been a little stronger? Maybe stayed on his feet? Nah. I still think it's a penalty.
I think a momentum thing meant he was going to go down. I thought the only thing that they could have said was that the touch was by him by the time James actually had knocked him down.
Yeah.
So they may have said oh, your touch was too heavy, so you weren't going to get to that ball. But I don't know.
Who knows? I thought it was a penalty. I've seen penalty, the David Luiz penalty last year where he barely touched somebody,
Right.
You've seen those given, especially in a derby match, come on.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's, even if we do score there, what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
You know what? We at least get the fans to roar and scream and I mean, we did turn on pressure for the last 7 minutes of the game.
Holden missed a good chance in the second half too. He should have put that on target, a little header. Double header in the box. It equals a goal, not for Arsenal. Yeah. It's another thing. You see people on Twitter, been a season ticket holder since 98 and can't wait to go to the game and support Arsenal. It's the atmosphere. The atmosphere at the Emirates is always kind of shitty. I hate to say it. Compared to other grounds with lesser teams, it's a lot of passion, but it's just always kind of
Yeah.
We're a mess. I don't know what else to say.
I hear you, dude.
Been going to the matches since
growing up in Cali, there used to always be that little that Giants Dodgers rivalry.
Yeah.
And they always said the Giants, at Candlestick, they drank beer and fought in the stands.
Right.
And Dodger fans were flagging down the guy for a bottle of Perrier,
right.
It just, there is a difference,
Oh yeah.
It's it's like what they've done in football. They've outpriced regular fans now. So Arsenal still got the highest tickets prices in the league, right?
Yep. That's what they say on Twitter. So yeah.
Hey,
That's true. They're all posh, I guess.
Yeah, very throw your pinky out,
Right. You're gonna get in trouble for that. That's at Gunnar Rush, ladies and gentlemen, on Twitter. Anyway, so I don't know what else to say. Who would
I got a couple more.
Okay, yeah, let me hear it.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think I'm gonna lose some followers over
Good,
time because I'm not
good.
gonna let up, man. I don't get Xhaka. He's a weirdo, and I'm
Buddha.
tired of seeing him be the tough enforcer guy and requests to get to shake hands and pat people on the back of their heads. And
Can't wait to hug after the match. Can't wait to hug somebody.
Wants to give love. And I'm just like, dude, you're a weirdo. And watching some of his attempts at tackles was just kind of embarrassing sometimes, just because of the same thing that I've always said about him. He doesn't.
It's the same thing. Was he bad?
He
No.
lacks physically, so it puts him in positions that makes him kind of scramble and have to do weird shit.
Right. Yeah. Was he bad today? No. Was he good today? No.
Right.
It's just
Right.
But I mean, he's somebody who's the first name on the team sheet. Like he's the first one. Team captain. Jacques is gonna play.
Well, 4-year contract or 5-year contract, or so.
Right. I mean, but that says it all, right?
Go ahead and mark it down now, boys. We got him playing. He'll be on the sheet for a while. So
and that says it all, right? Like he's an automatic start for this team.
Yeah.
I mean, that says everything. I mean,
so part 2 of that statement was, to me, I give a half a credit to Smith Rowe. He looked good today.
Luukanga,
but Luukanga, that's my player of the match, man. I'm very impressed by him. I think he has a cool head amongst chaos and traffic.
Right, he wasn't tripping out there.
He's crafty with the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
I think his passing is everything that Partey kind of wants his passing to be, but Lukanga's a little bit better with it, I think, like.
Well, I mean, yeah, Partey has shown me that he'll have a loose pass.
Yeah.
And take a bad shot and get hurt. That's pretty,
But I saw very rarely did Luukanga miss on passes, or did I even really disagree where his choice was to pass? Like, I thought that was a good pass, like the right pass,
right,
to go swing it out to the outside that time. And,
right.
And
I thought
he flicked a really nice, beautiful one up over the top that gave us a chance.
Oh, yeah.
Finally got a chance. And it was, they gave a lot of credit to, I think, might have been KT that swung it back into the inside. No, it was ESR swung it back to the inside, but Luukanga was the one who actually sprung him.
Spotted it.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I thought
I like him. I think I liked him, and if I had a choice when Partey came back, it'd be Partey and Luukanga, but we got this guy named Xhaka that is going to be.
He's our team captain, so he's gonna be out there. Yeah. It's I'm giving the I think I like Tavares. I could see I like his attitude. He's just like, whatever. You know what I mean? He's gonna be the guy that's gonna be like, yeah, whatever, coach. Sit your ass down and like try some shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like he seems mischievous.
Yes.
He seems like he's down. And we need more of that on the team. You know what I mean? He seems like somebody that doesn't want to be a robot. Like, I'm gonna try some shit out here, okay?
Yeah.
Fuck it. And I think we need more of that. And but other than that, Saka looks tired, mentally and physically. Tyranny, the whole offense goes through Tyranny, and he's got to defend. Everything goes through Tyranny. So he's under a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? Cedric had nothing to do. Really, we work everything through Tyranny. That's our fucking Magic Johnson. He's gonna, we run the offense through him. So is he gonna get caught out sometime? Sure he is, especially if the coach hasn't planned that narrow and Xhaka can't cover him and Saka's not coming back. So, who else? Martinelli running around trying to do shit, but there's nobody out there really that can spot him, or we're too busy trying to get the ball out to Tyranny. We missed that little slip through pass to Martinelli. I saw that a couple times throughout the match. Who else? Xhaka. I mean, what's he doing? What does he do? Mari had his hands full. He was, he's playing against an NFL linebacker, and I agree with what I think it was Lee Dixon. Like, back up off him, dude. Don't let him post you up. Give him a little space and then come up and try to do something. But Mari was, he took a different approach. Like, he was told.
Yeah,
because he was even kind of following him around. He wouldn't like let Holden come in there and try to take him. It was just Mari, and I don't know, dude. What are we doing? What are we doing right now?
I'll say this about Tyranny is I feel like the way the team sets up that we kind of have to go with the 3 in the back wing backs if you want Tyranny to continue to be part of the offense.
Right.
Or else there's a handful of teams, a lot of them, even is that Wolverhampton I watched? They got Adama Torre.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, that guy's gonna just tear us up if we keep bombing Tyranny up the side, and then somebody's got to get back to help.
Right. You look at Chelsea with Alonso. He's slower than Tyranny. He's a wing back, and he's just bombing forward. But Rudiger, who's an athlete, a center back, can cover all that space and cover for him, and it's can Mari do that? No. Can Holden do that? No.
Well, and I think really a big problem is when we run just a classic 4 in the back is just those 2 center backs.
Right.
Can they handle anybody in the league? I don't,
Yeah.
So, I mean, you almost need to go 3 in the back.
Definitely.
Because, God, they need help. Like, we need we need 3 guys to stay back, and they got to be skilled in playing from the back, not Xhaka as the
right.
guy.
3 in the back with Xhaka staying back, and those 2 and those wing backs bombing forward. Who knows? We might be able to create some chances. You know what I mean?
And the thing is like, we're not geniuses saying this is the way to go.
No.
But at some point, when do you just say, hey, man, you know what? It's the 55th minute and nothing's worked out so far. I'm going to do this.
Right.
Let's go ahead and we're just going to do this.
Right.
And
you can if Tyranny didn't get hurt, like I think Lee Dixon said, you could have played him as a 3rd center back and have Tavares as the left wing back, and
yes.
What I mean? Before the game, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And bombed him forward.
And Tyranny definitely is an option to play him either way. So then that way, occasionally, he can come up and pick something out to be part of the offense, but not just relied on.
Exactly.
But you know what? My thought, too, was that, is that Tyranny plays left wing back and Saka plays right wing back, and Pepe comes off the pitch.
You know what I mean?
Because somebody from up top's got to come off if we come up with another center back. So let's just run it like that, and that takes care of your right back situation. Right. Saka can play over there.
Yeah, definitely.
Just tell Saka, hey, you do need to come back and help. Because your job is to come back and to help, not be the last line of defense, but to come back and help.
Right. That's clearly an option. Like, you got to do something with Pepe, dude.
Yeah.
You got to do something. You're not. Look. I'm gonna get. I've been cool all day, not getting angry. But if I keep thinking about Pepe, I'm gonna get angry.
I'm telling you, man.
It's like you're getting nothing out of this guy, and we've seen the talent.
No,
you almost can't even blame Pepe at this point. Like, Arteta doesn't know what to do with him, really, or doesn't know how to get the best out of him. And that's what a lot of these players, these young players that are coming up. I saw Saka today, and it was like when he was coming off, I was just like, that he doesn't look too happy. Not that he's coming off, just at the situation. Like, here we are, getting our ass beat again at home.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got nothing else. I
Well,
really,
I'm gonna tell you this. Here's my wrap up.
yeah, wrap it up.
We were gonna be 0-2 after this.
No, I thought we would have been brief Brentford easily.
Oh no. But I mean, after losing to Brentford coming into
Oh
this
yeah,
game,
yeah,
I knew
yeah.
like I mean we're gonna be 0-2.
Right.
And we got a lot of players that aren't on the pitch right now that, you know, in our estimation are supposed to be on the pitch starting. So with Odegaard's and Gabriel's coming back from, and Partey and some of these other guys coming back, Ben White, you know, hopefully we're not looking at the team that is what we're going to be running with when healthy. But when healthy is a problem for us.
That's true.
We get two injuries and this team is hurting. Like we're kind of thin. Right. And I understand why people say we need to get rid of people because these guys aren't worth it, but we're kind of stuck. And maybe the problem is that Arteta won't even play them. Like some of these guys that we know we must get rid of, but for some reason we can't.
Right. Speaking of right,
you're gonna have to play him, man. You're gonna have to play him or something. We need bodies.
You think about the discussion we just had about wing backs. Maitland-Niles is a perfect example. Like that's who can be a right wing back.
Made for that.
You know, he's proven that too in the past.
Yeah.
When Arteta first got the job, he depended on that guy on the left wing back.
Yeah.
And we won the FA Cup. Doesn't even, I guess I read today he doesn't want to play right back or that's not what he wants to do. I mean, if that's the case, then sure, get rid of him. But, you know, if I'm the manager, that's where you're playing. You want to play, right? You know what I mean? Get out there and play.
That's exactly what just hit my mind. I'm like, well, I would just tell him, like, I mean, hey, I got time for you. It's out there in the right back.
Until we find somebody that wants to buy you, you're playing right wing back. Sorry.
Yep.
You know, but what you said about missing so many players, you know, is so true. You know, I came on here kind of angry, but perspective. We have a lot of injuries, a lot of illnesses, a lot of players out that would be starting. My whole thing is this: tactics, coaching.
Yep.
You know, we played a little harder today. Not as, you know, I want to see people flying around intense. You know, that's what I want to see. The way Brentford played us, that's what I want to see. Or the way Tottenham played Man City. You know, they fought hard for that win.
Yeah.
You know, and that's Tottenham. You know, they're a bunch of busters. But I don't see that from us. And this would have been a perfect game to showcase that. And it also would have been a perfect game to play Arteta ball when he first got to the club. Keep it tight, try to catch him on the counter, maybe come out of here with a 1-0 win or a 0-0 win, but keep it real tight. Don't be so exposed. And for the whole match, and we'll end it on this, we were exposed everywhere. They were just passing little passes around, breaking the press, playing it out from the back, just with ease. So,
yeah. I mean, knowing that Lukaku is going to be a handful, I don't know why you just don't keep one of your defensive mids
right in front of him.
You got to keep him back, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if it sacrifices what you can do on offense, which I'm here to tell you guys, our defensive mids don't contribute that much.
That's our focal point.
They don't make us deadly. Right. In the attack because they're up there playing with, you know, precision, you know, like, I mean, so like jump off of it and just play somebody in front of Lukaku all day long.
He's their focal point.
If they get the ball to Lukaku, we're in trouble. Like that's how this game works. And going into it, everybody knew that was the problem.
Right. Don't let them get the ball. Maybe have Xhaka kind of occupy that space right in front of him and just kind of, you know, help Mari out. Who knows? But anyway.
Well, I mean, since you're so in love with Lukaku, I don't care. Put Lukaku in front of him if you have to. Yeah. But hey, don't send both of them up the pitch and then wonder how come Lukaku keeps getting the ball and passing it off to somebody.
Right. Easily, like, you know how hard it is for us to make that pass to somebody? That same pass to a striker. from the midfield. You know how hard it is for
know.
our it's impossible for us to slip somebody a pass like that.
Oh,
And they were doing it all game. And it's just like, wow. And then you know what comes after that? The pass out wide. You know, he passes it back. We cave in. They pass it out wide. He goes on a run. They make the cross.
There's about 5 center backs in the history of soccer that can hold Lukaku off.
Right.
So, I mean, let's just understand this is the plan today. They're going to beat us down with Lukaku.
Yeah.
We got to do something. Anyway.
I hear you. On that note,
hey.
On that note, I'm gonna end this podcast. We got we got West Brom and EFL Caribou Carling Cup on Wednesday at 2 p.m. That ought to be a doozy.
Let me figure out what streaming network that is. Okay.
Right. You know what I mean? And then we got Man City on Saturday. So, you know, we got a big week coming up. Hopefully we get some players back from injury. Who knows? So, you know, there you have it. Thanks for supporting the podcast. You can catch us on Twitter at CITM Podcast. We also got a YouTube channel. We're on Instagram, Caught in Two Minds. Hit the link tree and share it if you like it. And thanks, man. Yeah, peace. You know what?
Hey, you got? You know what? Peace.
Oh, hold on. No, not yet.
Yeah. Twisting, turning. That's a penalty, is it? No, he's still going. Oh, how about that? How about that?
Thank you for tuning into Caught in Two Minds. Please head on over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and review. All feedback is much appreciated. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at CITM Podcasts, at Guna Rush, and at eMarshall Comedy. The music of this podcast is brought to you by Statics. If you like what you hear, please head on over to staticsmusic.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Statics Music. That's STATX Music. Peace.